Okay. Welcome to class, everyone. Compliments of the evening or compliments of the day. If you're on the AM side of the clock, compliments of the day, of the morning, and if you're on the PM side, compliments of the evening. And to everyone, and also happy weekend. Let me also take you from there. Trust everyone is having a splendid day. Okay. Yesterday's class ended. We actually capped it on security models as a way of refreshing our mind. Who will tell us what the security model is and examples of the security models we saw in yesterday's class. Yesterday's class wasn't all about, the models we saw weren't all the models there is in security model, no. But the critical models, the commonly implemented models, were the one we saw yesterday. So he's going to tell us what security model is and examples of security models. Then go by also sharing with us what's your, give us, just explain one or two lines about the examples of security models. Okay, let's listen. Dede, you want to
Okay.
say something?
Yes, I
Dede,
want to attempt.
go ahead, please.
All right. So a security model is a framework, like it's an approach, and you said it's also a guideline, like a template or framework for how various security mechanisms should be carried out for an organization. And
Okay, go
then
ahead.
then there are examples. There are four that we treated or that we
Okay.
treated. We have the first one is the layered security model.
Mhm.
And in layered security model, we have different multi-layer. Then that was when you gave an example of a building, of a house that has a gate, and then there's a walkway, and then there's a door to the main house, and then you climb the stairs, and then to your room, and then to the wardrobe and all of that. So different layers of security all in one. The
Okay.
physical, network, and data security.
Okay.
Then there is zero trust model.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, you said that's the most paranoia of all, all the security models that does not trust anybody, any system, even the management and everybody. So um then the security model is the core principle is never trust, always verify.
Okay.
Then that was where you talked about the identity and access management,
Okay.
authentication, authorization, and the rest.
Okay.
Then the KISS model, which is the simplest of all the models,
Okay.
which is just keep information security simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is just mainly to reduce complexity and vulnerabilities. Those are the principles. And
Okay.
then it's a faster recovery, it has a faster recovery and restoration, and it's streamlined.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
Then the focus is more on the core security principles, the CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the fourth one is the perimeter model, which you
Okay.
said is the oldest of all the
Yes.
security models. And then that
Yes.
was when you give example of the castle
Yeah.
and moat, where in the ancient British Empire and all of that, where a castle is surrounded by water, and then there's this eye thing that you have to cross a lot of hurdles before you even
Yeah.
get to your target.
Yes.
So, and then the focus is more on boundary. So
Okay.
that's what I can. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much. Kudos to you. Thumb up. And I'll just to clap for you. You actually, excuse me, you actually summarized the entire class in a minute or two. That's quite That's very good. That's very good. That's quite impressive. Thanks for paying that amount of attention to that class. He's answered it. Is except Adegoke has something to tell us. Adegoke, you want to say something? Your device is
No,
unmuted.
that's yeah, said what there is to be said.
Okay, that's good. I'll just add one movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie before. A very popular movie. It's called Troy. If you've seen Troy, exactly that's what perimeter security. You agree with me in the movie Troy, or in the Troy movie, it was extremely difficult for their enemies to climb the wall. The wall was so tall and thick that all attempts made by Achilles and his fellow soldiers to break through that barricade into the city of Troy proved abortive. Even the gates, if you've seen the movie called Troy, you agree with me. The gate was so fortified that all the heavy duty armory targeted at the gate couldn't pull it down until they developed let me say, supposed gift from the gods called Trojan. That's the origin of Trojan horse. And the king was socially engineered. I hope you know there's social engineering in that movie. The king was socially engineered by the gift he saw, believing that only a god can bring this to our shore. And by what he saw, he was carried away, not knowing that his enemies were inside the stomach of that gift. And he asked that the gates be opened, even when the son was worried and very paranoid about it. So it is that concept you see, that wall, like the wall of China, you know, the China wall. That also is a perimeter security. It's that security system that's has been several thousands of years ago that was translated into into technology, and we have it as perimeter. Now, I would ask one last question as we go into DID today. Who would say, how does that, Adeoke, I mean, Adeoke has actually hit the nail on the head, but how would you tell us as a way of feedback, that class, that model, or including, okay, let me take a bit back from line of defense through security controls. That's the security by function and by work, or category by function by work, and then down to model. I mean, how does it, has it aided your understanding of security design and implementation? And can you share with us, how has it helped you, or has it impacted you, and how? Is a very critical aspect of cybersecurity. Or let me, okay, and then, okay, you want to say something? How has those teachings impacted you? And did you gain one or two things from it at all?
Yes,
Please?
I have.
Okay. So how? What did you get?
I mean,
How do you think it can translate tomorrow? Okay, go.
even before we, did the security models thing, I during the time we were doing the lines of defense, I
Yeah.
was telling my girlfriend that I had an idea of how um my house, the security in my house would look like, and it's all thanks to this class. I was saying at the front gate, before you even enter at all, there will be like like some sort of key card that you will be able to
Okay.
use to enter.
Okay.
The gate
Okay.
man will also have one key card that will only be able to access the gate, but the
Mhm.
key card that my wife and I will have will be the type that will be able to access the front door as well, and the different, the different rooms in the house. Then
Okay.
maybe if you misplace a particular, if you misplace your key card, there's
Mhm.
going to be just outside the gate, like some kind of safe that
Yeah.
can only be accessed by my wife and I, and it will be only be accessed through like a fingerprint,
Okay.
my wife and I. So you'll be able to, either of us, whoever loses their own key card, would be able to access the master key. But
Mhm.
immediately you access the safe where the master key is, I will be notified.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the key card that was misplaced, I
Mm.
would quickly deactivate it. So
Mhm.
whoever finds it
Mm.
will not be
Mhm.
able to use that particular
Mhm.
card again. It was just, I was just thinking about, the different security, things that I could put in place in maybe my house or even my company.
Okay.
So yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
like
much.
yeah, it's like a multi-factor security kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Thank you so much, Adeguki. That's a very lovely positive feedback. The lesson from the three last classes or concepts were very rich. Like I did tell you yesterday, and I'll repeat today, that they are way deeper than what you heard. And they advance from line of defense through security controls and to security models. You find them in advanced certifications. Like if you're taking certifications like CISSP, eh, eh, or if you're taking these ISI Council certifications, you find not all these cybersecurity certifications, you'll find it. No, you'll find it like you're taking SOC2, security operation, or you're doing a security, or you're taking a SOC analyst training, you're going to find such a concept there. So you'll find it across different area of specialization in cybersecurity. No, but those areas in cybersecurity that are tailored to administration, that's where you find the concept. So what you're receiving here is quite deep, quite rich. Please, I'm not telling you or ski to praise, not telling you that's all there is you need to know. No, that's just on the surface. There's still a whole lot to learn horizontally and a whole lot to learn vertically. So good. Thanks for the feedback. Let's go into today's class, which is a further look into layered security model. Yes, like Adedeji refreshed our mind with the 4 we looked at: keys, keep information security simple, perimeter, zero trust, also called ZTA, sometimes called ZTNA, sometimes called, just ZT is actually the keyword, zero trust. Sometimes called zero trust architecture, zero trust network access, network, whatever. It has so many applications. If you get me, to network, to applications, to database. I hope you're getting me. ZT is applied to different resources within an organization's information system, both in the cloud and on-prem. Okay. Is the INTI now, please, like I said yesterday. But then we got the layered security, which has been the most fondly implemented, the most popular security model is layered. It has been, before ZT came, is being the hallmark of security implementation for years. For years, yes. I'm trying to remember when I can't be too sure when it started, but I know it's been for years. So, and I want us to look further into layered security because it's still in vogue. ZT just came recently. ZT is Is it up to 15 years now? Zero Trust. I'm not sure Zero Trust is more than 10 years old now in popularity. I'm not saying the concept has not been. Somehow, somebody somewhere, somehow may have propounded that theory. Just like I told you, KISS was used by an Air Force officer in the Second World War, and all of a sudden it became what? A model. Content was developed around it. Military schools adopted it, and to date, it's still a model, still held on to, highly promoted amongst the models. So, and the guy who used it, just used it casually, and he gained recognition. So, Zero Trust also is a millennium concept, came with this millennium, but it's barely 15 years. I'm not sure Z is up to 15 years old in terms of recognition and popularity. So, but there's been a layer that's always been from on-prem to cloud, and I want us to talk about is layered the model is the layered security model, but inside it, there is an outshoot of that model that goes vertically into it. It is called defense in depth. It is called the castle approach to cybersecurity with layered defenses, unlike perimeter. Perimeter is called castle and moat. The difference between perimeter and defense in depth is that defense in depth starts actually from the perimeter. That means it's a build up on perimeter security. It actually started from there. Now, the whole concept is to push the boundaries of security beyond the moats and the walls of the castle into the castle itself. Hope you're getting it. That is, layers of security is created. Like you can find these layers, for instance. Look at the castle. I hope this castle is, if you look at this castle very well, you will find the moat with the blue. Can you see where there is blue? What do you call it? That's blue line. Somewhere, can you see this blue line? From, if you look, people, processes, just after it, you find this, that's water actually, that's the moat. And then there is the wall. Now, there is this flat surface that allows you to cross. That is, where do you find, can you see, you find people outside the perimeter walls of the castle. It means people and processes, applications, accessing this sanctum, this digital sanctum, would have this barrier called the moat to cross. So there is the gates that falls flat across the moat, allowing people and processes, applications to pass through, opening the perimeter for authenticated and authorized individuals to walk through into this secure besides. Now, the castle is actually erected. Now, to now further get into the treasury room of this castle, there are other barriers cut through or to break through. These barriers are multi-layered security control system. You will see some of these, if you go through this layer, see layer 1, inner, layer 2, the wall around the castle building. You find layer 3, the inner courts, I call it the outer courts outside the castle building. That's how you have operating system. Layer 4, the walls surrounding the castle. That's the information access. Then layer 5, external access. That's where we have the moats. Now, what you're seeing here is, this entire picture you see cannot be, is a course on its own. Because should I start teaching what those bullet points in each of the layer, We might not finish this class by 10 p.m. tonight. They are quite detailed and it cuts across cybersecurity. Actually, what you see here is not just cybersecurity, the layers. The concepts inside these layers are not just cybersecurity concepts. Some are software concepts, some are system administration concepts, some are networking concepts, some are security concepts, some are, resource concepts. So this is, I comprehend that we're talking about IT here, but clustered into layers. So this is just a picture. I don't intend to go so deep into the way this picture is. I deliberately use this picture so I can talk briefly about it. Also, you can have a bird's eye view of how DID looks like. Is actually the most comprehensive security model. Please note, is the most comprehensive of all security models. The security control systems are multi-layered, so attention is not given to just one layer alone over other layers, like perimeter does. Perimeter pays attention to just one layer. Zero trust does not pay attention to any layer. Zero trust is just that we are suspicious, so you have to be properly authenticated and authorized before you can even get access. And everything you do is highly restrictive, highly closely monitored. That's what zero trust does. Highly restrictive. That's where least privilege comes in for zero trust, and closely monitored. So why? Because even after authenticating yourself and you've been authorized to gain access, we are still suspecting. So it is built on the foundation of what? Suspicion, skepticism. That's zero trust. So but when it comes to security across board, it is defense in depth, called the CASO approach. If you want to understand this concept again, perhaps just do a self-study on the architecture of the CASO. You can just Google or search through any of the, can use an AI, a chatbot to do that. Just simply search the security architecture in a CASO. And whatever message comes out, do your study, and you have your understanding of defense in depth. That means defense is vertically oriented. It is a security strategy that combines multi-layers of cybersecurity measures and controls to protect assets and mitigate risk and threats. Is addressing security controls, and also addressing risk at the same time. It revolves around the fact that one layer of security, if it is compromised, then forget it. You cannot compromise everything. Should you compromise one layer, you can't compromise all other layers of control. You will be detected. So I'd like to say, again, like I said yesterday, that it is not the intrusion. Whenever I get reports about hacking or exploitation or intrusion, let me use the word intrusion because intrusion is different from exploitation. When I hear reports about intrusion, I am not so bothered as much as I am concerned about access to classified information. And if this information were compromised or exploited, perhaps the multiple layers of security was able to curtail or contain the intrusion before the deed was done. You know what I mean? The deed here is the exploitation was done. The intrusion might be successful, but the exploitation is not. Hope you get that. The hacking might be successful, but the compromise or the exploitation of classified information might not be. Now, any instance where you are informed that there was a successful infiltration, a successful intrusion or hack, but the deed was not done. The damage was not done. That's what I mean by the deed. The damage was not done. In that instance, multi-layered security or defense index has been implemented. I hope you are getting it. So that if the perimeter was broken, access to the database was not successful. Hope you get that. It's like thieves or robbers break into a bank successfully through the gates and maybe through a window or through the roof. They got access into the banking, the building itself. But they couldn't exploit the bulk room or the strong room. I hope you are getting it. It means the security implementation is multi-layered. They succeeded in intruding or compromising the gates and its perimeter. Also, the access to the main building was also compromised or exploited or they intruded. But when it got to the main building, the bulk room or the strong room, they couldn't go further. That means the damage, eventual damage, was not done. There were damages quite all right at the gates and at the roof where it came through, but the deed was not done. I hope you understand what I mean by the deed was not done. Okay. DID is also called castle approach, since castles in the early days use layered defense like moat, walls, towers, and the same can be compared to modern cybersecurity steps like firewall, encryption, access control for holistic defense. The methodology involves layered heterogeneous security technologies in the modern attack vectors to ensure that attacks missed by one technology are caught by another technology. This is actually the claim of NIST in their special, in this publication called NIST.IR.8183, Defense In-Depth. This isn't their brainchild, this write-up. They actually copied it from ISO and rephrased it. Yes, they actually took it from ISO 27K and rephrased it to come up with this. I choose not to pull the one from ISO because it's longer than this. But what NIST rephrased from the ISO standard is quite easy to relate with. Is like he puts here, a methodology that involves layering heterogeneous security technologies in the common attack vector so as to ensure that attacks missed by one technology are caught. That is, attack missed by one security technology is caught by another security technology. That addresses defense index. Let's look at the architecture. How is it implemented? Now, you remember when we looked at security controls by their category? Category by purpose or function, then category by what? Who will remind you of the second category? There are just two categories to security controls. Or you just say there are just two categories of security. I mean, there are just two categories of security. You can say control by function or purpose, then control by what? Or as a function or purpose, then control by what? Or as what? Let me twist it for you. You know, in the exam, I mean, yesterday when I scrolled to that slide, we saw it as what? Category by purpose or function. Thank you. Somebody dropped the charts. He said action, thank you, or work. Please, for exam purpose, the examiner might not call it category by. He might just call it control as or control by. I hope you are getting me. Control as a function or as a purpose or by purpose, then control by action or control by work. So it might not be christened or named category in the exam. The concept is the same. It is just the synonym that changed. So it means in implementing defense in depth, we use what? If you look at this slide now, what does it communicate to you? It means we use, it is implemented as what? Control by what? By work or by action. It is multi-layered. So these are functional controls. And of course, I mean, these are controls that are at work. That is, they are controls that we encounter. So they are actionable, they are actionable, they are activated. So let's see these layers and the various control implementation. We got physical controls from the outermost layer of defense index. Every security system should have layer 1, physical. That is where physical security implementations are activated, where we can find security systems physically, physical security systems. It focuses on preventing what? Unauthorized physical access to systems and infrastructure. Can I ask you this simple question? I called it simple. Which of the CIA triad is this kind of control addressing? Is this layer addressing? Which of the CIA triad? It's a simple question, but CIA in itself is technical. So which?
The confidentiality, the access.
Of the elements of CIA? Sir?
Yes, the C. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Sorry, what did you say?
Yes.
Okay, in the CIA triad, what is this control addressing?
The C, the confidentiality, the access.
Thank you. It's addressing confidentiality. Confidentiality addresses access. Okay, let's continue. This control safeguards assets such as servers, network. These are physical infrastructure. So examples are what? Access control mechanisms like keycard, biometric, and like what Adeoke told us that the house you'll be building is there's going to be, the gate is going to have an access control requiring card. The gate man is also going to have the card. That's physical. Then we got perimeter security. The very fact that he said there will be a gate that will have a card control system implemented, it means there will be fence because gates are attached to a fence. So under perimeter, we've got fences, gates, locked cabinets, reinforced barriers, like this barbed wire you have on your gates and so on and so forth. They're all perimeter controls. Then monitoring systems like surveillance cameras, motion detectors, smoke detectors, intrusion alarm systems. All of these are monitoring. We call them environmental control system. Please note that we're still going to do that later. Then we got, okay, I just brought the environmental now. Yes, the environmental, but in this light, you can see there's a separation. Now, we got HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. If I may ask you a question, does HVAC amount to a security system? If yes, how? Please, I want to take the question again. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Actually, it is classified as environmental control. Good. In some other texts, some other articles, instead of use the word monitoring system, environmental protection is used. Because monitoring systems actually are classified as environmental control systems. You find them within the physical environments. I hope you are getting it. So please, if you do some further studies and you cannot find monitoring system as standalone, it will always be included in environmental protection or environmental control systems. I hope that is clear. Now, HVAC is a control implementation, a security control implementation. It is a statement of facts. How does it protect? That's the question. How does heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system amount to security control for gadgets like servers and the likes? How? Can somebody talk to us? Can somebody tell us how? As a security control system. Oh, yeah, let's hear.
I want to
Hello.
try.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like there are servers, in a server room. If the servers get too heated,
Okay.
they can fry up. Like they will fry.
Okay. Yeah.
So, there is maybe air conditioning in
Yeah.
the server room, then
Okay.
it cools the servers from getting overheated, which
Okay.
prevents frying and which leads to data loss or,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Adeguke. You really hit it on the head. Thank you. Adedeji, let's hear from you. How does HVAC amount to security control?
Yes, I was going to say that it serves as a cooling system for the server
Okay.
in case it gets
Okay.
heated. Right? So just said what I was going to
Like
say.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me now add this to it, which you have not said. Let's look from threat actor and threat vector point of view. Let's look at it from a threat point of view. Dust. Yes. Dust. Does it amount to threat? Yes. High voltage, low voltage. Can we classify them as threats? Yes. Hope you're getting me. Then heat. Can we classify them as threats? Yes. It means hackers are not the only threat actors or agents to technological system. Nature itself can amount to a threat agent and also to a threat vector. I might, as a human threat agent, attempt to attack a data center. I can manipulate or use nature to my advantage or as a tool to cause mayhem for the data center. Yes. I can heat up the data center. Yes. I can. I hope you're getting me. I can use nature against the data center. I might not be attacking data center directly to exploit digital resources. The whole attack might just be a DOS attack. I hope you're getting, might just be an attack that will lead to a total breakdown or a partial breakdown of the data center. Just want to disrupt operations by using water, by using heat, by using high voltage. Hope you're getting me. Or by even cutting a power supply line to the server room, the data center. So HVAC properly implemented can address these, more especially from nature, or which could be man-made. Hope that is clear. So please, I need you to know that in the light of cybersecurity, we must be very mindful of the level of HVAC implementation. Of course, when data centers are built, when server rooms are set up, you as the cybersecurity man might not be consulted on HVAC. Rather, HVAC specialist might be consulted, whom the management may assume knows it. But you, as a security analyst or administrator, can determine the ideal HVAC specification for a data center, or for a computer room or a server room. For instance, if you do security operations or security operations analyst certification or training, HVAC is a mandatory module. You must take it. I hope you're getting it. It's there. Ask anyone who's taking SO, security operations training, they will tell you it's there. So dust filters, vibration, proof setups, and the likes are environmental protection. Let's move on to admin. The name admin is not new. We took it in, we did this in security controls, but we're looking at it in the light of defense in-depth. What are the control systems? We know administrative controls amount to policies, procedures, standards, guidelines, protocols, and the likes that are meant to be adhered to or complied with in order to access or use digital resources in the light of security. Please note, not in the light of operations or tasks being carried out and all of that. So administrative control tools can also be implemented as a layer to further strengthen the security architecture of the enterprise. One of such are what? Information security policies and procedures, or risk assessment or risk management policies and procedures, or compliance policies and procedures. I hope you get the picture. All of these are layered security implementations that all that we can find within a DIG architecture. We got training and awareness. Oh, is this a security implementation too? Yes, I'm asking and I'm going to answer it. Training and awareness or security education is a highly recommended preventive security control measure. The better aware, the better informed, security aware your employees are, the better it is for your security system. As a matter of fact, there's this principle in cybersecurity, which is a universal law, that a chain is as strong as its weakest points. You know, chains are interlocks, right? Yeah, they are interlocks. They are made of interlocks. Now, there could be 20 interlocks in a chain. One weak interlock is equivalent to the strength of 19. There could be 100 interlocks. One weak interlock is equal to the strength of 99. Now, let me translate that into digital security. How it works is this. In the light of security, we say no matter the security technologies you implement is as strong, or that the strength is equal to the weakness of your users, the employees. That is, in terms of ignorance, let's put it that way. That is, irrespective of the technological implementations you have, security implementations you have, let it be DID, multi-layered, beautiful. It is in its entirety, the strength equal, proportionally equal to just ignorance in the users or employees of that institution. Just simple social engineering can crash the entire, can undermine your entire security paraphernalia. Just one simple social engineering, just one. So it means the better trained, informed, and aware employees are, the stronger your security systems. As a matter of fact, KISS strongly emphasizes security training, believing that if your users, whether customers, clients, or employees, or third party, are better equipped with security knowledge, you need to spend less on security technologies, because the sum of all security technologies you have is equal to the ignorance of your end users. I hope you get that picture. So why don't we, according to KISS, the KISS model, why don't we educate our users so well and continue to educate them about new threats, new vulnerabilities that were found? Let me get them educated, equipped mentally, make them first responders. You remember line of defense. Why don't we do it that way, rather than just continue to acquire security technologies? Go to Microsoft, acquire all that Microsoft got. Go to Google, you go to IBM, you go to AWS, continue to acquire security technologies all around, when the users or the assessors of this technology are what? Are not so skillful. I hope you're getting me. Not only does security education enhance the security paraphernalia or the security posture of the institution, use of technologies themselves. Now, there's difference between security education and technological competence. I hope you're getting me. I take it again. Security education is different from technological competence. If An individual is technologically incompetent and is exposed to technology, to use technology, most of one of them being database. Hope you're getting me. That's lack of what? Competence or limited competence in the use of technology can expose the vulnerability of that technology that can be exploited by threats, whether known or unknown to the institution. So you must learn to match and map correspondingly security education with technological competence. Do not assume that employees know. Train them. For instance, if Funsho is onboarded as a CISO in your establishment, do not leave Funsho to his residual knowledge. Funsho also needs some knowledge, some training, some organizationally inclined training, the knowledge about your institution. Not minding whatever I'm bringing on board, good, but he also needs to be what? Corporately educated about that institution and his what? Security objectives. I hope you are getting the picture. Do not say, yes, for sure, it's coming from this. He has all the experience. Oh, Emmanuel is a CISO. He's been CISO across different institutions. Oh, Emmanuel, we're onboarding. Emmanuel still needs to go through some corporate education, corporate training about the institution and its what? Security objectives, security policies, security postures, and all of that. I hope you get it. Okay, so we got incident response plan. We're going to do that. That's the next module we are getting into. Is a very strong defensive and corrective. I say defense, sorry, a very strong corrective security control system. And also vendor and supply chain management. Vendors can amount to strength, which they are meant to be, and vendors can also be a weakness to your system. And for some institutions that are globally inclined or that are standard inclined, once you're onboarded as a vendor, you will be given some level of education, not assuming you know. Hope you're getting me. Unless they've gone through your profile as a vendor, they can realize from your profile that, oh, you've provided similar services to competitors or rivals in the industry, top notch, yes, and also maybe other very popular names in other industries that they think, oh, you've been in this game or in this occupation for so long, so why should they give you such training? But that doesn't mean once in a while they shouldn't educate you appropriately about the system, its objectives, and if there are changes at all. Hope you get that picture clearly. Okay, then the next concept here is what? Technical controls. We'll find the following as technical controls: network security. I can't overflog this. I've said it many times that anything technical control are strictly technological, which could be hardware or what? Or they are strictly technology. They could be hardware or software. Hope you get that. So technical controls, network security like firewalls. Firewall can be a software, firewall can be a hardware. Windows operating system come with software firewall. A number of endpoint securities, antivirus, these network antivirus solutions also come with what? With firewall. You have the option of turning it off or turning them on. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't have an activated operating system firewall or a network firewall and also run your antivirus firewall. No, there will be conflicts. I hope you are getting me. So you will do well by turning off the firewall on your antivirus. The firewall on antivirus are highly restrictive. Sorry, I deploy these solutions a lot, so I know. Then we got IDS, intrusion detection system. I'm going to talk about them when we're talking about network security, including DMZ, demilitarized zone, and then microsegmentation and the likes. You know, yesterday I said one of such microsegmentation in a network is DMZ. So when we get to network security, we'll talk more about microsegmentation and DMZ. What access management, role base? How do you determine role base, rule base, and the rest? You use technology. Host security, yes, like having an antivirus, the host security, an IDS. An intrusion detection system can both be network-based and can be host-based. Don't worry, I'll teach you all of that in network security class. And then data security. Data in itself today has amounted to what? Technology. Yes, data in itself today now is a technological resource. That makes it a technology. Data can be at rest. Data can be in transit. Data at rest are data that are stored in physical storage devices or can be stored in the cloud. Even that cloud we are talking about, though it is logical in access, but it is physical in infrastructure. There's a physical, though there are logical infrastructure in cloud, there's also physical infrastructure. Clouds exist in data centers or exist in availability zones across the world. So clouds don't exist in oblivion. Cloud technologies exist, or clouds all across, you depending on areas they are covering. So when we say cloud computing, or when we say the internet generally, what drives the internet are hardware, gateways, routers, and mega switches, and so on and so forth, fiber cables. I hope you're getting me. These are backbones of the internet, and they're all physical, except for the software running on this physical infrastructure. Hope you get that. So that's defense in depth. You can see from this table, let me see, sorry, when it gets to you can actually zoom. You can see the types of security in there. It still takes us back to what? Security by action. So for under administrative, in this light, we can say the layers are administrative, physical, and what? And technological. So within administrative, we can have 2 or more implementations. Within physical, we can have multiple implementations. And within technical, we can have multiple implementations. So this is what we call defense in depth. I hope you get the picture. This is another illustration on defense in depth. You can see the 3 cores: technical control. You find host security, network security, access, which we just saw briefly. You saw administrative controls as the second core, and then physical controls, which is always the perimeter, outer control layer. Then the middle is administrative, and the bottom is what? The inner is technological. Please, I want you to look at this slide very closely, very closely. It's even speaking for itself that the technological controls are inner. Physical controls are what? Are outer. Then administrative control, which is oversight or management, is at the middle, overseeing physical controls and technical controls. You know what this thing points out? This whole message. It is pointing to us or depicting to us that the most critical across the layers is what? Technical controls. The most critical control. The most critical layer across these 3 cores in defense in depth is technical. So if you're implementing defense in depth, let your concentration be more technical than physical and administrative. If your effort is physical, then we will address your control measure as what? Perimeter. Fine, there is perimeter in defense in depth. I mentioned that earlier. It's actually built up on perimeter. So in defense in depth, the core, the inner core takes more weight in implementation, in security implementation, than administrative controls. And I will share with you, I guess, if I'm not, oh, that one is even more complex than this. I think I deliberately removed that. Yes, it's more complex than this. It has so many technicalities around it. It's too full of, so full. I just deliberately removed it because I don't want students to get lost. There's a point you learn. When you get into some levels, you now begin to get confused. Knowledge should not confuse you. If you were lost, knowledge should find you. Knowledge should not make you lost. No. At that point, it is no longer knowledge. I don't know if this is clear enough. What is it clear enough? Can I continue? Defense in depth. The technical implementation is at the core, the inner core of the layers. Physical controls is the outer. The administrative management oversight oversees physical and technical by use of policies, procedures, trainings, incident response plan, vendor supply chain management, and so on and so forth. I hope this is clear enough so I can continue. Okay, let's relate DID with risk management. Do they have some relationship? Yes. You recall when we started the DID, we said it addresses what? Control and risk. DID follows the principle of predictive and proactive risk management. For want of time, I would have asked what is predictive risk assessment or risk management and what is proactive. Okay, let me even quickly ask, I've taught you. Who will quickly refresh our mind about predictive and proactive risk management? Oh yeah. Who will quickly refresh our mind there? I've taught you, except you were not in that class. In our risk management class, I taught you, I said risk management approach can be predictive, it can be reactive. Yeah. Can you explain or use an illustration to explain? Adegoke, let's hear you.
Proactive or predictive risk management is when you guess what types of risk would occur, and so you quickly try to mitigate the risk before they occur. Then reactive is when they have already occurred and you're just trying to, do your best to, reduce what damages have been done. I think something like that.
Adegoke, I've been laughing inward. Sorry, let me laugh out loud. Don't mind me that I'm laughing. Actually, you have the whole picture. You know it. It is your expression that is making me laugh. If sorry, I'm laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Actually, you have the concepts. It is your use of words. You use the word guess at a time. Sorry. The word guess, instead of using the word guess, say identify. I hope you are getting me. Please, Adegoke, refer to our risk management class. I strongly advise, please refer to it. You see the various steps in risk assessment or in risk management. The first is what? Identify. Actually, that word to guess means you are identifying risk. Are you getting what I'm saying? So in proactive risk assessment, in risk management, is an approach that attempts to identify and address risk before they occur. That's for what am I saying? Okay, I said predictive and proactive. Then there's reactive. Sorry, predictive, proactive. They come alike. Then there's reactive. I just remember now. Then the reactive risk management approach. The risk has occurred. What we do is to conduct an assessment of that risk so as to one, correct, restore, and attempt to what? Prevent a recurrence of that incident. Let me take it again. In reactive risk management is a risk management approach or risk management technique in which the risk assessment is conducted to address the risk that has occurred, correct the impact, the negative impact, restore the system to normalcy, and what? Prevent a recurrence of that risk event. That's what we call reactive risk as a risk management. So for predictive or proactive, is ahead of the risk occurring, but is the most expensive. You may want to why? Anything proactive is more expensive than reactive. Yes. Proactive measures, please note that today. Proactive measures in maintenance, in control, in assessment, in analysis, in examination are more expensive. The reason is because they are regularized. They are you set time frame for them, and you carry them out periodically, either internally by using your internal resources or a designated officer, or you consult an expert to come do that for you. And so you got to incur costs. And then whatever the expert recommends, you want to implement so that the risk does not occur or that incident does not occur. Are you getting me? So even if the incident is not likely going to occur as claimed by the assessor, you still respond accordingly, trusting the judgment or opinion or report of the assessor. The assessor could be internal, could be external. But when it comes to reactive, fine, whether it is proactive or reactive, there will be control measures in the environment, right? Now, in reactive, we believe, of course, we have controls that can address it. So why conduct risk assessment often? This is when the incident has occurred. Please, is a risk management model. When the incident has occurred, we now conduct what? A root cause analysis of that incident, then respond accordingly. Now, we trust our control measures to have addressed the risk, like the impacts to some extent. So it's less expensive than what? Than proactive. But proactive is regular. Reactive is only after the risk has occurred. So for proactive, the period of assessment could be once every quarter. For reactive, it's only after the risk has occurred. So the risk may not occur in a year or 2 or 3. But for proactive, keep incurring costs every time the assessment is carried out. So if it is 4 times a year across 2 years, that will be 8 assessments. Whereas the risk is something that can only happen once in 2 years or once in 3 years. Hope you are getting me. So we are not saying one is better or what than the other. It's just the environment that determines whether your risk management approach should be proactive or should be reactive. For financial institutions, the ideal approach is what? Is proactive. I hope you are getting me. That's the ideal situation. But in educational environments, service rendering other than financial, reactive or a mix of both is ideal. But most times in those kind of institutions that are non-financial, you often find reactive measures in place. Okay, that's good. So that's proactive bullet 1, that's reactive number 2. Then they said modern risk management defense mechanisms go to the length of predicting and analyzing events in the future before they even manifest. Now, going by this bullet, this point, I want to ask you, defense in-depth, is it reactive? Is it proactive? That's where I'm going. Please look at it closely. Defense in-depth, is it a reactive cybersecurity approach or a proactive cybersecurity approach? Look at it closely.
It's a proactive,
right? It's proactive.
Okay.
It's proactive. Okay, agreed. But I need you to know that it's a hybrid. At perimeter, it is proactive. At perimeter, it's proactive. But at technical, it's not only proactive, it can be reactive too. Hope you are getting, yes. For instance, SIEM. If you're using, sorry, I call it SIEM. Some people call it SIEM, Security Information and Event Management System, or log capture, these log analyzers. There are lots of other technical control measures that are not designed to be proactive, they are just detective. Hope you are getting me. Like if you automate risk assessments, there are technologies that you can automate to carry out risk assessment to some extent. Hope you are getting me. Some of them don't only stop at assessing, can also do report writing for you, can even give you reports of a particular incident that occurred and what the impact is. Yes, I've seen such technologies. Some of them are not standalone, some of them are integrated into enterprise solutions, and they are implemented as a layer within the security architecture of the enterprise. By and large, DID is largely proactive. It is actually premised on proactive risk management. But in implementation, it can be hybrid, a bit of reactive and more of what? Proactive. I hope you get the picture. Okay. That's that. And then we got this proactive risk assessment and reactive. For those of you that intend to go into some aspects of cybersecurity, you can see it here. We got threat intelligence, vulnerability scanning, and when we say threat intelligence, like threat hunting, gathering information like footprinting. If you are into, if you go into cybersecurity training, you know, you heard the name reconnaissance, footprinting, and the likes. Is it foot? Yeah, I think it's called, yeah, footprinting, Abi. Emmanuel, I hope I'm correct. Let me not get it wrong here. But I don't call it reconnaissance. You can use a footprint.
Yes, you are. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I want to be sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing, but I know we call it reconnaissance. Now, inside reconnaissance, you can use footprinting as a technique, or the all threats intelligence. So under predictive, which tells ahead, real-time monitoring, behavior analytics. In this case, you can be using neural network system. If you understand the robotics and artificial intelligence, you know what we call neural network, NN. Then we got that will be addressing, that will come with some, uses a behavioral method to analyze, and then we got AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, can I quickly say this? These are advanced inclusion, most especially AI and ML. Manu and I were still discussing this yesterday night, study class. The use of AI and ML in cybersecurity is a novel inclusion into cybersecurity and risk management. I was addressing an audience. Sometimes it's over the weekend or early other month, I can't remember now, particularly online. And I was talking to them that the fear that is put in people that AI is taking away people's job is not true. If you remember 1999, there was this, there was also this, trying to remember now, when they said technology is going to take away people's job. They call it, there was this thing they call millennium bug. If you remember that time, 1998, 99, there was this postulation, there was this claim that when we entered the millennium, a computer was going to take away people's job, only for us to realize that as we entered the millennium, even more jobs were created rather than computer taking away jobs. And sometimes around I think 2009, 2010, there was another spread again. It's common with the technological age. Once we're entering a new technological age, there is this claim, you know, that technology will take away job, a new technology, because as new technologies evolve, they lead us into a new technological age. And that's why we have the G's in technology. Gen, fifth gen, the coming sixth gen in the field of tech. I mean, the world of internet, in the internet world, or in telecom and internet, also in hardware and in software, there are generations too. So when we are transiting, anytime you hear this news about jobs are going to be taken, one new technology is coming, it simply means we are transiting into a new technological age. It's a pointer that a new technological age is evolving. It's always a pointer. Please note that. So the truth is that technology actually is not taking away jobs. It's just redefining a workflow. So AI cannot do, if you understand what we call work cycle, a workflow cycle, AI is not been proven yet that AI can handle a workflow from start to finish. It's not been proven yet that AI can handle a task from start to finish. Please, if you know of one of such tasks, let me know. I will gladly listen. Just mention any task from finance to marketing to IT operations to cybersecurity to mention one where please, you must understand what you understand workflow. That's the cycle that completes a particular workflow. Tell me one particular workflow cycle where AI starts it and ends it without human intervention. Then I will tell you, if you can tell me one, then I can tell you 100 workflows that AI cannot complete. So AI will be either augmenting or assisting, like we have virtual assistants, or we redefine workflow, not necessarily take it away. So that's that. You can see when the notes get to you, please. These are just explanatory notes on this image. This image you see here is what we have here, which I have briefly mentioned. So this is defense in depth again. Another, okay, that means, hey, this is the image I was looking at. I thought I removed. Yes, this image is so inclusive and exhaustive of DID. I just deliberately put it here. It's very deep. This is one image of DID. You can find the words. Can you now see the various stratum where security is layered? Now, if you look at this other image, this image, they are not different. The thing is, this entire three layers is what is exemplified here. This is what that's what you typically that's what you have here. Look at it very closely. You find at the core of this arc that data is at the core. You know what that communicates to us in DID? It means the primary resource we are protecting is what? Is at the core of the enterprise information system, which is data. Example, database. Any system or subsystem could be a software too, but oftentimes a container. And the contents of that container, please note for emphasis, this content might be in transit or might be in what? In stored form. That is data at rest and data in transit. I need you to understand that core very well, that data core. I need to understand it very well, that what we are protecting will be in physical states or in transit. Oh, physical states, when data is stored, we say is in physical states. When data is in use, we say is in what? Is in transit. I've taught this before. Remember, I once mentioned this and I've once explained it. So that is the primary. You know why data is emphasized here? I'll tell you. Do you know why? Sorry. Do you know why data? Please, can I get a thumb up if you still hear me, please? A quick thumb up, please. Hello, am I still audible?
You are skipping actually,
okay.
But you're back now.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Can I tell you why data is treated as the core? The first thing here is because the most important resource in an organization is not human being, it's data. The most important resource. Please note, I'll take it again. The most important resource in an organization are not human beings or users. Sorry, in the field of tech, we don't actually use the word human beings, we use the word users. There are end users at the front, there are also those at the back, and those are intermediates, I mean, in between at interfaces. Users are only the most important in the light of business resilience. Please note, I take it again. Under asset classification or resource classification, the most important is data. But when it comes to business resilience, which is the next module we shall be taking, it is people that comes first, not, or users that come first, not data. But in IT asset management, under the concept of ITAM, data comes first. I hope you get the picture. Please, I hope that is clear. So if you look at the various layers, right, what do you find there? At the inner core, you find data. The next layer to it is what? Applications. Next to it is host. That's where you have operating systems and platforms. Next to that is where you have the internal network. After that, you have perimeter. Next to that, you have physical. And next to that, you have policies. You may want to say, What do you mean by what? What makes perimeter now different from what? Physical. Look at it closely. The perimeter there is what? Network. Network perimeter. That makes it different from physical perimeter. Please, this is a very, very deep thoughts. I've told you when I once showed you one of the slides, that the concept is very deep, goes beyond cybersecurity. So we're going to exhaust it. We'll take you across these various layers and start taking them in depth. So it means we'll take you outside data cybersecurity and bring you into the world of software, then to the world of network, to the world of what do you call it? Different segments of tech. Then bring all of them collectively to a center point, which is called security. You agree with me that what we are securing are all digital resources. And these digital resources can be hardware, software, data, people. I hope you are getting me. Processes, architectures, systems, subsystems, and so on and so forth. So the bottom line is the concept of defense in depth is broad. And that's why it's the most security, I'll call it the most secure of all the models. The most secure, multi-layered. When you have your notes, you can go through this and you can see the coloration illustrating what we saw here. So this is another illustration that has even more specific security implementations than what we have there. So you can see at the center, at the core here, what do you see here? Mission critical assets. Mission critical asset is the same thing as your what? Your data here. So that's the end to defense in depth at this point. Can I welcome or accommodate any question now before I go into run you through cybersecurity code of ethics? Cybersecurity code of ethics. I want to run you through it. Any question? Okay, in the absence of question, let's go through cybersecurity code of ethics. We are professionals and we are duly guided by standards. These standards are what translates into what we call code of conduct or code of ethics. Every profession must, by necessity or mandatorily, have some codes that guide the conduct of the certified professional. Not every practicing supposed practitioner is a professional. I'll take it again. Not everyone practicing tech is a professional. No, you might be addressed so. I can address you in this class as a cybersecurity professional. Fine, it's good at this level of communication. But ideally, you are called a professional when a certification body certifies or inducts you. That is when you truly become a professional. I can address you as a professional at this level because the knowledge you are acquiring is both technical and professional that can aid you to take a certification exam. Hope you get the concept. So that is why the onus is on us to educate or inform you about the code of conduct. There is no professional exam you will take whose certifier or issuer does not have certain code of conduct or standards, which are called professional standards or ethics. So within the field of cybersecurity, there are some guidelines that are meant to inform our practice, our conduct. The cybersecurity practice is the practice of protecting data network system in accordance with professional standards, industry best practice, laws and regulations. In some climes, the code of conduct of cybersecurity experts are laws. In some other climes, they are regulations. In some other climes, they are industry best practices. The second bullet said organizations may adopt different codes of ethics based on factors such as their culture, size, geography, and the likes. The next bullet says ethics in cyber is essential to enhance the overall security posture and protect personal and other digital information. I made a point earlier that AI ML will not take away jobs as is being claimed, but will rather redefine the way work is done. AI, ML are not human beings, so they're not going to be guided by ethics. I'm open to correction here if I'm wrong, and I'm open to what any information if there is on code of conduct or ethics for AI. Please, AI are not human beings, and I'm yet to find code of conduct for virtual machines, physical machines, software, and the likes, digital resources. If you have found one, I'll be so glad to have a copy or study it. So this is the essence of code of conduct for you and I, to ensure that the organization there's an overall security posture, or to enhance the security posture and protect personal and other digital information. According to Cybersecurity Ventures 2024 report states, the 2024, just last year report states that cybersecurity offense reporting rates is about 25%. That is, offenses committed by colleagues like you and me, colleagues in the same industry, cybersecurity professionals. Those reported, though, were about 25%. This low reporting statistics underscores the requirement for strong ethical frameworks and practices. They call it low because we are yet to find a platform, actually, or let me say I'm yet to identify one that's where cybersecurity professionals' misconduct can be reported. Sorry, Emmanuel, you are a colleague. I don't know if there is one platform online. I don't know. No, I know organizations will definitely have such platforms on their local network. But if there's such platform online that allows or the offended to come report the misconduct of cybersecurity experts, I don't know. But I know that just the way we have EFCC.
I'm aware of currently.
Okay. Thank you. Just the way we have EFCC, that where you can report financial misconduct. The same vein in some climates globally, like in the US, in the UK, there are government agencies that regulate security, like CISA. Emmanuel is a member, not CISA for the as a certification, but as a government. I think they call it cybersecurity infrastructure or something. I mean, please, Emmanuel, help us with that name, CISA.
Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency.
Thank you. It's a government agency. I hope it is so in the
it's
US.
A US government agency, yeah.
Thank you. I know they will be open to reporting of cybersecurity professionals who are underperforming or not conducting themselves ethically. So Cybersecurity Ventures only gave us this based on the reports. That is for those that were reported officially. Those that mean openly, that government is aware of. But those that were not reported openly, that they were just reported internally, but not public, definitely we are not within this number. So it means those that were reported, Africa may not be included in this number, Asia may not be included in this number. You know, it means that those that went unreported, should they come to the power, to the open, might scale this number to maybe 50 or 60. That would be serious, Abi. Of course. Like I do say that if the cybersecurity man is monitoring the network, the infrastructures in the network, who is monitoring his own conduct to be sure that he is working as he should. I know there are KPIs that are meant to measure his performance, but who monitors where is misdemeanor? Who monitors is where he was slack that gave rise to the compromise of the network. I hope you're getting me. There's one of our banks in Nigeria whose internal controllers, I teach a lot. Those who work in the internal control department, I train them a lot for CISA, a lot. Emmanuel knows what I'm talking about. An incident occurred. In my class, that day, I was teaching CRISC, and ISACA's information risk management certification. In that class, the GM risk management of that bank at the headquarters was in that class, a physical class. 2 states internal controllers, one from Lagos and one from Oyo State, were in that class, and 2 other internal controllers from the head office were in that class. So that day, the particular subject I was teaching, or concept I was teaching in risk management, led to a discussion of their system being exploited. When they gave me the room to analyze, I allowed them to talk. And they all spoke. The man who spoke from risk management spoke. The one from internal control spoke. Yes, there was one person from internal audit. That one too spoke. When they now gave me room to speak as the subject matter expert, I dissected the case. I'm sorry for privacy reasons, I'm not going to discuss it. But CBN is in the know of this case. That's to tell you how grievous the exploitation was. When I analyzed, everybody went mute, because I had to make them realize that there were some personnel who were in technical and professional positions in the bank, but their misconduct led to that exploitation. I don't work in that bank, but as a systems analyst, I was able to analyze their system thoroughly. I even went to the board and sketched it out diagrammatically, and I gave it to them. These are the security nodes. These are the monitoring points. These are the reporting points. I gave it to them like this on the board. Emmanuel knows what I'm talking about. He's been to that physical presence once, physical space once. I mean, before, so he knows. I was able to illustrate it on the board, and I said, okay, that's where the failure is. That's where, and who reports or who monitors the cybersecurity experts when there are breaches on the network? Who should have detected it that failed to? When the IDS detected it and dropped the message, who should have further analyzed or studied that message and act promptly that did not? All of these. Why am I raising them? Because of the concept of ethics. Why? Why are code of ethics or code of conduct important in cybersecurity? One, it will ensure that the CIA of digital assets are provided for and protected. By complying with ethical standards, cybersecurity standards, we will be leveraging on tools and technologies that require the use of ethical regulation. There are some tools that some of you might know here. Emmanuel is in the know too, that will tell you they are NIST CSF compliance. Yes, I have seen such solutions online. Some will tell you they are GDPR compliance. I hope you're getting me. It means the vendors of those tools are also what? Claiming to be complying with what? Cybersecurity code of conduct as enunciated in NIST CSF, in ISO 27K, in what? GDPR. I hope you're getting me. And in some other cybersecurity standards. So these are the importance. Ensuring that vendors are in compliance, not even the user or systems that will be making use of them. Ethics in cybersecurity enhances professionalism and helps preempt and respond to cyber threats. Then cybersecurity and ethics are interconnected terms that support the loyalty and trust. There's this thing called duty of trust. Duty of trust. Who are those who are meant to provide or who have on them the onus called duty of trust? Trust duty. Number one is you and I. Accountants have it as part of their what? Professional requirements to carry out their job as a thing of trust. IT experts have it on their responsibility, duty of trust. Please, you can go and read more about it if you do not know about it. So you and I, cybersecurity auditors, risk managers and practitioners, quality control experts, assurance providers have what we call duty of trust. And to ensure that what we do for our institution, of our clients, is trustworthy, and they can rely on it, the code of conduct has to be adhered to. You will find some websites with an emblem on the sites showing that they are what? There is a code of conduct or ethical standard they comply with, most especially sites where there are payments that support payments or with payment gateway integrated or embedded. Some of them do have it, like oh, I'm trying to remember one of the names. There's this one. Sorry if you've ever seen such emblem. Sometimes you find it at the bottom of the site. Sometimes you find it to the right of the home page, the landing page. Even sometimes on the payment page. Are you getting me? You find that icon that shows that, oh, they are in compliance with what? The code of conduct for financial transactions. Core principles of cybersecurity ethics: accountability, availability, transparency, compliance, confidentiality, continuous learning, integrity. Let's run through them. The professional who is called a cybersecurity specialist, analyst, whatever job title is given, must be responsible for job-related actions. He must assume accountability. I hope you're getting, it's part of our code of conduct. You must be accountable. It's through the use of what? Logs. Logs keep a trail of activities. Logs keep a trail of activities. And as such, you can be called to order or called to question, account for particular action. You granted a permission. Can you please account for it? What they're simply saying is, come and tell us, oh yeah, this permission granted to this user, was it in compliance with an approver? Did you secure an approval? For instance, if you want to know what I'm talking about, if an individual committed fraud and in the course of investigating, they realized that there was an elevation in what? An elevated permission that gave rise to that fraud committance. You know what they'll do? They will call the systems administrator or the security expert to what? To questioning. Oh yeah, can you please provide? That's where accountability comes in. Can you provide all the supporting documents? You gave this permission, right? Or you, the cybersecurity, you are not a systems administrator. You are supposed to vet that procedure leading to what? Privilege elevation. Oh yeah, can you prove? Come and account. That's the concept of accountability. Come and account for your actions or inaction. Transparency. This enhances credibility and collaboration in cybersecurity ethics. Close related to accountability, but establishes what? Trust. Now I told you our job is that of what? That of trust. We call it duty of trust. The cybersecurity expert must be known or seen to be transparent. Whose interests are you working for? Whose interests are you protecting? Confidentiality. The organization's information is in your custody or can be accessed by you. So what do you do? What do you call this in most times? Non-disclosure agreement. You remember you always sign it. Because you have so much of their data and you're going to say, hey, Emmanuel shared something with us. Emmanuel, you remember where you were saying that an organization, the individual was living and copied some things out. Emmanuel, was it not you that shared it?
Yes, please. Yes, yes. Yes.
Confidentiality. Thank you. Thank you, sir. What this emphasizes is that if you did not have access to such information, will you abuse it? Will you copy it? Will it lead to leakage or transfer or not unauthorized attachments? It is because you have access. So you are meant to what? Ensure that those data or information that passes through you on your custody that are classified critical or classified sensitive must be protected against unauthorized access or disclosure or what? Leakage. Then integrity. Integrity helps ensure that data tampering and maintaining the chain of custody. Data must not be tampered. If you are in the chain of custody of data, you too must ensure that it is not tampered with as a cybersecurity, which most times. Sorry, I can't go into chain of custody in depth now. I hope you're getting me. There's this concept in forensic investigation, in the track, in the steps in forensic investigation. One of the steps is called what? Chain of custody. The cybersecurity man is always in the chain of custody. As a result, data should be integrous. Availability, state of being in operation when authorized users need it. It only allows permitted users to access the data and resources. This is where permission comes in. I've talked about permission. Then compliance. The cybersecurity expert must be seen at all times to be conforming. The cybersecurity professional, Adegoke, for instance, myself inclusive, and all of you, Adedeji, and every other person in this call, on this call, and everyone in this journey must be, your efforts, your activities, your actions must be in tandem with standards, laws, and regulations to improve overall protection of resources. Then continuous learning. You must be in the know all of the time. You must know and continue to know. In some clients, it's called CPD, continuous professional development. Some clients call it PDU, professional development. I think they call it PDI or PDU. Under PMI calls it PDU. ISACA calls it CPU, continuous professional education. Some other certifications call it MCP, mandatory continuous professional education. For cybersecurity experts, you must know. That is why a single class like this is not enough for you to know all there is to cybersecurity. You must continue to know. So let no man tell you. We will not tell you that from skill to pro, not for marketing purpose, not for financial gains. We will not tell you that a single class will be all you need to become an expert on your job. Is a continuum. You would have seen lots of adverts, training adverts, that will give you false promises. I'm sorry, we are experts. We know when we see such promises. They will tell you they will deliver heaven on earth and earth in heaven. They will tell you you will know this, know that, know this, know that. In a single move, in one class, in one journey. Of course, that's not true. That is also violating the code of conduct or standards as far as learning management, learning and training, or call it training and development, is concerned. They are doing that for marketing purpose to woo students, to patronize them. But we will not do that here. We tell you what we assess you to identify needs and gaps, and then prefer solutions that can fill it up. That does not mean if that need is met, there will be no other knowledge need in you. Of course, knowledge need does not end. Emmanuel is currently writing a dissertation. Will I call it dissertation or a thesis? Is currently, you'll be doing a presentation. Sorry, Emmanuel, I'm saying this outside. Emmanuel is still studying. Emmanuel is back to school. Let me put it that way. I'm currently in school. I'm currently Emmanuel, I hope you do not mind I'm saying this.
No, I don't.
I have to say this for our colleagues to know that we are always learning. I'm currently in school taking a program. Emmanuel is writing his dissertation, and Emmanuel will be presenting. He has a deadline. We still talked about it some few days ago. So we are always learning. Hope you're getting me. Okay. So common ethical issues in cybersecurity, privacy intrusion. Some privacy, cybersecurity experts have been found to intrude, which is, of course, that one happens a lot with websites, intrude into data, individuals' data. The risk management, a lot of privacy. It's been proven that because cybersecurity is risk management in itself. So some cybersecurity experts did not discharge their risk management. Let's run through it here. Privacy intrusion. Cybersecurity experts are meant to monitor systems and networks. They can witness personal sensitive information collected or stored. The human factor can result in intrusion of privacy or disclosure of sensitive information. Just like the case of a bank I shared with you, but hid some facts. So the identity of the bank you do not know. The case itself, the content of the case you do not know. I hope the body of the case you don't know. But I'll only give you just a pointer. That's not intruding into privacy of that bank. It's one of our top 5 banks in Nigeria, just to let you know, for CBN to be in the know. Okay. Then risk management. Because cybersecurity in itself is what? Is risk management. But the cybersecurity man might not be good in risk management in itself. For instance, what amounts to risk management? There's what? Threat hunting or intelligence as an aspect of risk management. Vulnerability assessment as an aspect of risk management. PIA or just IA, impact assessment. These are individual, granular parts of risk management, which the cybersecurity assessor should be good at. We're not saying cybersecurity assessor might be good in an entire cycle of risk assessment. No, but at the critical stages in risk assessment, of course, it should be good. One of them is risk threat hunting. What do you call it? Even reconnaissance alone should be good at it. Okay, possibility of disinformation. Let me give you a very quick one. It's in the public, so I can share quickly. Hillary Clinton, remember the election between her and Donald Trump that led to Donald Trump's first term. You know what? One of those things I nailed her is the information, the email that was compromised. Now go and check the story of the email. She got that email, but the email server has a feature that can allow her forward that mail without opening it. I mean, what I'm selling is online, so you can go and read about it. That mail was infected, but because she has a cybersecurity awareness, she could not trust the source of that mail, so she forwarded it to their what? To one of the officers in IT department. I can't remember whether it's their head IT or heads, but I know it's one of their top IT officers. Forwarded the mail to him. That one did not do his due diligence, replied back to her mail that is good, she can open it. You remember Emmanuel took you through a hands-on on what? Assessing your mails, conducting risk assessment on your mails. So that guy obviously did not do his due diligence, just responded back that all is where she can open it. It was that mail she opened that led to the harm. The mail contained the Trojan that exploited, that simply tailgated. I hope you are getting me. Her into the entire email server, and the rest today they call it history. So cybersecurity people could actually divulge the wrong information if they do not exercise due diligence. Transparency and accountability, talked about this. Then compliance and audits is also another part. In fact, there's what called cybersecurity audits. I hope you're getting me. Okay. These organizations should comply with regional international regulatory laws of system hardening and establishing best standards. Similarly, internal and external audits help identify vulnerabilities, weakness, non-conformity actions in cyberspace. There are times where cybersecurity audits are not conducted, where the audit, the cybersecurity expert does not open himself up to audits. Yes, it's one of the violations in the field of cybersecurity. The cybersecurity man or professional or the expert doesn't open himself to audits. Okay, ethical challenges faced by cybersecurity professionals. Let's run through them, but you can see in this picture, poor security, privacy concerns. These ethical challenges that are faced by you can lead to what we call what? Common ethical issues in cybersecurity. These challenges can lead to some of these issues. Somebody dropped a message. What about the questions you wanted us to answer? Oh, sorry. Don't worry, I'll ask. Next weekend is our client. Sorry, I just wanted to finish this module today. Don't mind me. I will take the question. No, this is what we'll do. The question will be sent. It's 20 questions. So don't let me to be sent to you. Please attempt it. It's 20 in number. So you'll get it to be uploaded in your portal and the link will be sent to you. Please, you do well by attempting. There are 20 in number and there are questions you love. Look at it. It's 20 in number. So there are questions you will love. So you do well by what? Attempting it. I actually wanted us to attempt the Open 20, but somehow it can also take time in class. But I really want to finish this module so that post break, we are starting a new module. I think that's cool. That's the objective I set for myself today, actually. So it is these challenges that cybersecurity people face. Some of these challenges can now lead to what? These ethical issues that cybersecurity experts can find themselves. So let's run through it quickly. Poor security. Sometimes it's not your fault that your institution has poor security system. Some cybersecurity expert will tell you that Emmanuel can share this with you. I mean, can tell you also as part of his experience in his previous employment, where management does not listen. You were not the one that set it up. You know what I mean? The system or the security system, you were onboarded. Now you did your assessment. You realize that the security architecture in place is poor, and you drafted your report, sent to management, and expected them to act accordingly. And they turn the other direction. I hope it's one of the challenges you can face. Insufficient security controls practice weaken the security posture, including ineffective implementation of security measures, misconfiguration. You are not the one who is to do configuration of the system. You are just a cybersecurity expert. When we say system configuration, it's different from what you do as a cybersecurity personnel. Or your job description might not even give you room to do configuration. Yours is to do an assessment and make recommendations as to what kind of configuration that should be done. What if it is not implemented? If the walls come crashing, who will take the blame too? You will be one of those things. So these are some of our challenges. Privacy concerns. Cybersecurity experts should project data from unauthorized access. Should protect it. Similarly, professionals should respect and protect privacy at any cost. Now, you might be protecting privacy. The institution might be what? His approach, his operating approach might be counterproductive with your objective. Evolving technology. This is one of our biggest challenges. Emmanuel, you agree with me? You know, we still talking about this yesterday about Microsoft. I mean, Emmanuel.
Absolutely.
Technologies keep evolving. You are yet to maximize the existing technology. If you're on a platform like IBM's cloud or AWS or Google Cloud, GCP, you are yet to maximize or optimize. Let me use the word actually. You're yet to optimize the features of that technology. And this vendor is telling you there's another one. You keep coming up with something new. You are yet to master what the organization has adopted. And a new one is coming, putting you on the edge to want to learn and continue to learn. You can be drained. I joined a joined a meeting. So I was going through the write-up. Sorry, I read what was discussed online, and it was very pathetic. The meeting was all about IT. It was actually around US. It was a survey conducted on IT professionals in US, cybersecurity inclusive, and there are various challenges on the job. So that was what was discussed in that forum. And when I was reading through the reports, lots of IT guys in the US, about 45% the report they got said they want to leave tech. Yes, that they want to go. I mean, that the thing is overwhelming them. Truly, tech experts globally are in terrible scarcity. Take it or leave it. There's no time you hear about cybersecurity alone in tech that you don't hear more than 1 million need. More than 1 million need for more than 1 million. There's never a time I read cybersecurity reports that I don't find it in the reports that on a global scale, there is need for more than 1 million. Please, if only cybersecurity is in need of more than 1 million people, then come to think of software developers, database administrators, web back-end and front-end engineers. Come to think of network engineers and administrators, system engineers and administrators. Come to think of help desk support, the computer engineers. Come to think of these other persons. If cybersecurity alone is in need of more than 1 million experts on a global scale. If you really want to know this report, go to cybersec.org that covers US primarily. You will see their job need there. If I'm not mistaken, it's up to 400,000. You can easily hit cybersec.org now. You will see the current cybersecurity needs in the US alone. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to like 300,000 to 400,000. So if US alone is in need of that number, not to say Europe, not to say UK, not to say Asia, not to say Africa. Africa's name might be minimal, but to say those other countries where technology is fast evolving. And do not forget, Donald Trump is pulling them back. That okay, I'm going to put taxes on you, but if you want the taxes to be lifted, come and set your institutions and your organizations in the US. You know what that means? Of course, these institutions that will now come and establish in US, we give rise to what? Need for technological experts. So it means by next year or 2 years' time, the need for technical experts, include cybersecurity included in the US, will skyrocket. I hope you're getting me. So all of these are putting challenges. I know what that will mean. The technology experts too will start developing new technologies to address, the migration of institutions to US. But it becomes a need. It becomes an opportunity, a market opportunity for tech experts in the US that Donald Trump is pulling hands back to the US from China, from Japan, and the rest. So what will happen? The tech need in the US will increase to meet with that demand. Information disclosure is one of our challenges too. Might not be from you, might be from users. Emmanuel can tell you this. Lots of the data leakages are not from the laxity or laziness of cybersecurity experts. It's actually from what? End users. Ethics education, lack of this. This is a challenge on its own. Cybersecurity experts should be trained and retrained. And they shouldn't be using their money to do this all of the time. Institutions should be funding them. What if they are not funded? Okay. So how can organizations promote ethical practices in cybersecurity? I think I should give you this as take home. These are sources of cybersecurity code of conduct. We have the Information Systems Security Association, and it has these. I lifted these actually from them. These are their codes and standards. When this test gets to you, you can read through, but then you can go online. I decided not to leave the one from ISACA, from some other, because the list was quite long. So I couldn't leave them. But all professional bodies, cybersecurity bodies, have code of conduct, from EC Council to ISACA, to IC Square, to Fortinet, to GIAC and the likes. They all have cybersecurity code of conduct for their members. This is from ISC Square, just lifted it the way it is. So please, for this 7 on the DOT internet time, I actually wanted us to treat this in class, that how can an institution promote ethical practices, not you as a professional, but as an organization? How do you think an organization can promote ethical practices in cybersecurity? But for want of time, I'll give us this as take home. And I want us to, okay, let's see how we'll come up with a Google form with this question. You can fill in the boxes with the right responses. I hope that will be nice. So Emmanuel, please, let's employ that channel to answer this question. Are you getting me, sir? So,
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Any questions? So we can, this is the end to the module. It's quite long, but the other modules are not. We're going to treat resilience after this as the next module. So everything GRC, data, we've all ended this now. We're taking another route completely from where we are coming from. So is there any question? So we can call it a day. Okay. Emmanuel, over to you.
Well, there's nothing from me. I think we should upload the questions on DOD too.
Okay.
So we upload that as we have done for risk assessments.
Yes.
So
we are going to do that.
Then we'll
definitely
create this one as well and send it to everybody, so
okay.
you can submit your responses. So we meet for next week because there's holiday. There's Easter, so we hope you enjoy your Easter. But feel free to reach out to us if there's anything. Thank you.
So the dates are that we're meeting, that will be on the 24th,
I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
24th, on the 24th of April. So next weekend is free for us. Let me say next week, not weekend, Friday, Thursday, Friday. So please, you do well by going through the recording, refresh your mind, and you can contact Skill2Pro Secretariat for whatever question to be duly attended to. Thank you everyone for coming today. God bless you. Bye.